everybody, how's it going? And welcome to my review of A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood, a movie directed by Marielle Heller, and it stars Matthew Rhys as a journalist named Lloyd Vogel, who is based on the real-life journalist Tom Juneau, who wrote an article about the popular TV children's show host Mr. Rogers. And upon meeting Mr. Rogers and learning about him, this guy, learned a lot about himself and about his life and his relationship with his estranged father, played by Chris Cooper. And this whole movie has so many themes about making your life better and forgiving people and not holding grudges and just being nice. Now, I just want to say straight off the bat, being in Australia, I didn't really know much about Mr. Rogers. He is very much an American icon. We never had the TV show over here. All I really knew about him was what I gathered from pop cultural references. Things like songs by the Bloodhound Gang and Ugly Kid Joe. And I knew this guy was meant to be a super nice guy, like kind of the poster boy for niceness. But I didn't know anything about his show, about the format of it or anything. So going into this movie, I was really blind to anything. Actually, I hadn't even seen a trailer for it, to be honest. I just heard it was a really good movie. I was really keen to see it. And yeah, it's a really good movie. I like movies that have these themes of positivity. I like these movies that remind you that life is short and, all these things that we want to do, you got to do them. If there's a girl you like, you tell her that you like her. Or, if you've got a family member who you're having issues with or whatever, sort it out, because one day we're all going to be gone and all the people you love are going to be gone. And this movie just had so much of that going for it. In terms of the performances, in terms of everything about how this movie was constructed and crafted, it's brilliant. Matthew Rhys as the lead character, I thought he was really good. Obviously, this guy goes through a really emotional journey through the film, and yeah, this guy carried it perfectly. And the way the film was made as well, it's kind of a shame that I didn't know much about the Mr. Rogers show, because the way that it is designed to emulate the show and use that as kind of transitions between scenes and stuff, it's kind of hard to explain. You have to see the movie to know what I'm talking about, but it was masterfully done. And of course, Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers was so brilliant. Now, admittedly, I didn't have much to compare him to because I didn't know what Mr. Rogers was like. I'd never seen a video clip of this guy or anything, but it's one of those cases where watching Hanks's performance, you know what Mr. Rogers is like. I mean, I walked out of this thing thinking to myself, yeah, I know who Mr. Rogers is. And sure enough, going home, I looked up a whole bunch of stuff on it, and yeah, goddamn, he nailed that character. And it wouldn't have been an easy character to emulate either, because, yeah, just the way this guy speaks and his eyes, everything, Tom Hanks just freaking nailed it. And I guess that's another thing I can say about the film. It is one of those movies that does make you want to know more. It makes you want to read the Esquire article that was written by Tom Juneau. It makes you want to know more about Mr. Rogers. It makes you want to know lots of things. I guess really the only criticisms, and everything's just minor, there were a few moments in the film that I thought slowed down a little. It didn't drag, it was never a boring film. I just thought the pacing did slow down a little bit here and there, and it is, it's hard to criticize it because the aim of the movie is to be such a nice film, but it did kind of get a little bit sort of hallmarky at times. I mean, nowhere near as bad as those kind of films, but yeah, it was excessively sweet sometimes. But it still left me feeling really good at the end. It is going to be a tearjerker for a lot of people. Didn't quite hit that plateau for me. I did get a little misty-eyed here and there, but yeah, not quite for me. But I know there are definitely other people out there who are going to bawl their eyes out. I do think it's a movie that I'll get on Blu-ray. Right now, I don't really have a desire to see it again, but I do know that as time goes on and the more I think about it, I'm definitely going to want to see this movie again and again. It was a really, really good movie. It is definitely something I would recommend everybody check out. It's the kind of movie that anyone's going to be able able to appreciate it. And yeah, with all its themes and messages, it will change your life, hopefully. So that being said, I really love this movie, and I'm going to give A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood a 9 out of 10. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch this review, and I know this movie's been out for like 2 months over in the US, so yeah, this is, you know, what I'm saying right now, it's probably nothing new to you. But since the movie's just come out today in Australia, yeah, by all means, let me know what you thought of it. Drop me some comments either here, Facebook or Twitter. All the social media links are in the description below, because I like to talk about movies and I would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.